Everyone, I learned a pretty cool theory a while back that I believe I've talked about in previous videos, but I want to talk about again because it's actually crazy. So basically, this theory states that if a god in the Percy Jackson universe is the god of an intangible thing, then their kids get skills related to that intangible thing. But if the god is the god of a tangible thing, then the kids get basically control over that tangible thing. Which is just like, it makes sense, but I never thought about it like that before. I bet you haven't either. But I want to talk about some examples, so let's start at the top. We know that Zeus is the god of like the sky and lightning, and his children can either fly or control lightning. So they have powers that are control over the tangible things that Zeus controls. And then you have Poseidon, who is the god of the seas, and his son, Percy Jackson, can control the seas. He can control water. He has control over the thing that Poseidon is the god of. Then you have Hades, who is the god of the underworld. He's actually not the god of the dead, contrary to popular belief. That's Thanatos, but he's the god of the underworld, and his children have control over the underworld. Okay, fine. Hades is kind of a gray area because his children can kind of control the dead because Nico can bring skeletons back to life to help him in fights. So he's not really controlling the underworld, but he's controlling something from the underworld, so it's still kind of the same thing. Now let's look at a few examples of gods who are not gods of tangible things, but rather intangible. And let's start with the thing that the person is commenting on in this comment right here. They're talking about war, Ares being the god of war, wondering if it's a tangible or intangible thing. Now, I'm on the camp that war is just an idea. It's just an intangible thing that happens. Like if you want to compare a book, which is a tangible thing that you're holding, you can't hold war in your hands like you can hold a book. They're both nouns, but you can't hold it. So yeah, I think war is an intangible thing. And that's why Ares' kids are just good at fighting. Like that's not a power, that's just an enhanced skill. Next, let's go to children of Athena because Athena is a great example of this intangible thing. She's the goddess of wisdom and battle strategy. I don't think there's any debate that those are intangible things. So her children have literally no physical powers. They're just good at battle strategy and they're smarter than average. Like those aren't powers, those are just skills. And then if you look at someone like Apollo, who's the god of like music, archery, poetry, and healing, the things that his kids have reflect that. Like music, that's not really a tangible thing, but his kids are good at singing, and some of them are good at playing instruments. Those are skills. Some of his kids are good at poetry. Once again, that's not a power. They're just good at poetry. Now, while archery is a tangible thing, being good at it is just a skill, so that's that might be kind of an exception. And then same with healing. Healing is more of an intangible thing, but when the kids use healing, it's almost like a power because the things that they do are better than what people could do if they were just good at healing. You know what I'm talking about? Like they're supernaturally good at healing. So guys, all I'm trying to say is this thing about gods being the god of tangible versus intangible things, and tangible things, their children having powers over those tangible things, intangible things, their children having skills, it mostly works. There are a few exceptions, but it mostly works. And I actually think it's pretty cool when you think about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments on it.